Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. Well, today, though, I am going to give you some real estate news that you can definitely use. Okay, so in the state of California, they have recently made the Homeowner Benefit Agreement illegal. Now, they say that it is predatory towards certain groups. So for those of you who may not necessarily be familiar with it, let me give you a breakdown of what it is. There are some brokerage firms that were offering people money in the range of $300 to $5,000 in exchange that particular homeowner would agree that if they wanted to sell their home, they would have to let that particular brokerage company sell their property. And they were given 40 years to do that. If for whatever reason that particular homeowner did not want to use that particular brokerage firm, they would have to pay the brokerage firm 3% of their home's value. This agreement was not only between the homeowner and the brokerage company. No, this agreement also went past that. So if that particular homeowner that signed that agreement died, guess what? Their descendants, the people who inherited that particular property, was also bound by that particular contract as well. So even though they didn't sign it, even if they weren't familiar with it, they would still have to use that brokerage firm to sell the house when they wanted the house to be sold. Okay. They know that this, of course, was very appealing to a lot of people because you do have many people who may find themselves in a desperate situation. And then you also have some people who might also be greedy. Well, some of you might say, well, you don't see a problem with this. I understand. It may work out for you. It may very well be great. It won't work out for you in the state of California, though, because it's illegal there. Okay. But here's where the problem is. All right. Not all realtors are equal. Some realtors are not good at selling. And let's say you come to the point where you want to sell your home and you need to sell it right away. The particular realtor that you get might not necessarily be able to sell it right away because they're not skilled in doing so, right? So you'll end up with having the house longer than you actually want. Because, see, this is what is meant by an exclusive agreement, okay? The next issue is you may say, well, since they only want 3% of the value of the home, will I really be losing anything? Here's where the math comes in. Typically, not always, but normally, properties go up in value. So if before the 40 years comes, let's say your property went up to $1 million, you're going to have to pay 3% of that. And 3% of $1 million is way more than $300. You see where I'm going with this? So in many cases, it might not work out when it comes to trying to get out of the deal, right? So me personally, it really depends on the market that you're in. I mean, if you're in a big city, I would probably stay clear of these type of agreements. If you are in a place where people are not too familiar with your area, it's not world known, if you will, then it's probably okay, if you're outside of California, that is, to go ahead with this agreement, but you still need to proceed with caution. You know, with the markets the way it is, it's really hard to predict whether they're going to go up or whether they're going to come down. And it's hard to predict outside of the market what your future is going to be like, or what the future of your kids is going to be like. Like, do you plan on staying in that property for the rest of your life? Do your kids plan on holding that property for the rest of their lives? Or will they be forced to sell, or will they just sell because they don't want it? You understand me? So it's really, you're walking on a tightrope with this one. If it was me, if I was in a desperate situation, I probably wouldn't go into this agreement straightway. What I would do is I would look at the different grants that are out there, such as needhelppayingbills.org is one particular place where you can look up what grants are in each state and city. And I would go there and apply. I would go and see if there's any financial empowerment zones like we have here in New York City. I would go there and see what help they could give me. I would probably also visit GreenPath, and again, for free financial advice, go there and see what help they are familiar with, as well as your local library. They might have free information too, because I know here in New York City, our library system does offer free financial advice. And they actually, not too long ago, before the pandemic, they had a free office where whatever type of help you needed, coupons, just letting you become familiar with the city as far as what help is out there that you can get. That office was set up in the library, the New York Public Library, for that. So I would go there first. I would also look at my credit cards and see what kind of advance I could get from the credit card before signing an agreement like this. I really would. Even though credit cards, you know, you can get the interest rate may be high. I understand, and many of them are definitely higher than 3%. But you know, you do have credit cards out there that it'll be like 0% balance, a 0% interest for a year, and then, you know, after that you would pay. I would even go down that route before signing an agreement like this. But again, it really depends on where you live, whether or not something like this would work out. Okay? Because yes, California has made it illegal, but it's still legal in the other 50 states. Now, there are two groups that are fighting against this, and that's AARP and some consumer advocates who also feel like this is predatory because it's targeted to certain groups, certain populations. It's not something that everybody in the United States is familiar with. Okay? Now, you yourself, if you feel that it's predatory, yes, you can also contact your local representative and speak to them about it. But I will say this. It's always good to go in a group, because the more voices that there are, the more the politicians will listen, because they know they are losing votes, and they're also losing some campaign money, because a lot of times these groups do contribute to the campaign of these politicians. Okay? So guys, that's pretty much all I have to share with you. I'd like to know from you, do you think that this homeowner benefit agreement, do you think that it's predatory? Or do you not feel that it's predatory? Would you sign this? Would you go ahead with this if you found yourself in a desperate situation? Or would you use another alternative route? And if you would use an alternative route, which route would that be? Feel free to put that down there in the comments. And also feel free to share this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.